5 NBA situational trends and angles for today, Monday, February 5th. Let's get right into them. As always, I start by saying, please never make a bet based on any single trend or angle. I'm giving you these as just part of the handicapping process. And I'm assuming if you're watching this video that you also use trends and angles as a part of your handicapping process. And if you do, again, don't just go out and make a bet based on any single trend that you see in my videos. These are only meant to be used as part of the handicapping process. In fact, I recommend that you weigh out what you feel are the relevant trends and angles for each game and see if they weigh out more heavily on one side or the other. We are going to start with a trend, and trends are more team specific. The angles, as I call them, are more league wide specific, so they could apply to any of the NBA teams. We'll get to those in a minute, but we're going to start with a team specific situational trend here for today. And we're looking at just this season, and we're looking at the Toronto Raptors. We're looking at them on the road, capital A for away, when the total is greater than or equal to 230, and the line for the game is, it says greater than -6. So what that basically means is they could be an underdog. The game could be a pick 'em, as long as they're not a favorite of more than 6 points. And we're going to hit the SDQL button. And you can see that the over-under is 11-0. 11 overs, no unders. Here's what I really like, better than the 11-0 record. These 11 games went over by an average of nearly 17 points per game. I love the wide winning margin on this trend. And you can see that it was active just last night, actually, when they soared over the total thanks to double overtimes. So this game would have stayed under. It's active again tonight with the Raptors visiting the Pelicans. This was actually active 3 days ago. So the Raptors have fallen into this quite often in the last few days. Let's move into the second team trend I have for you guys today. And if you wouldn't mind, I would greatly appreciate you hitting the subscribe button. Also, hit that bell for notifications so you're notified whenever one of these videos gets posted. For this second team trend for today, we're going to look at the Lakers. We're going to go back to and see, you'll notice instead of the season parameter, I used date greater than or equal to, and then we used the 4-digit year, then the 2-digit month, and then the 2-digit date. So this goes back to December 13th of 2023, where we're looking at the Lakers when they're facing an opponent with a winning percentage of less than 50. So said simpler, they're playing a team with a losing record is the layman's terms for that. So we'll hit the SDQL button. And again, look at the over-under for this trend. 13 overs, no unders. These games went over the total by over 19 points per game on average. And if you look over here, there was only 2 overtime periods in this whole set of games. So take those 2 overtimes out, and that margin is going to drop a couple points, but it's still going to be somewhere probably around 16, I would guess. And you can see that this is active tonight with the Lakers visiting the Hornets. Now we're going to get into the angles portion of the video. We're going to look at some NBA wide situational angles, and I actually like these better than the individual team trends. Guys, if you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up to like this video. I would greatly appreciate you doing so. For this first NBA wide situational angle, and some of these get really complicated, so sometimes it's a little daunting to sit here and try to take what I see and convert it into a sentence that makes sense. But I'm going to go through this parameter by parameter here. We're looking at regular season games only. And we're going back to the 2020 season. We're looking at home favorites whose last 2 games both went under the total. So previous. So 2 games ago went under, previous game went under. These teams, and this is team average, and points minus opponent's points, said another way, is their average scoring margin per game is somewhere between 3 and 7 points per game. So they're outscoring their opponents on the season by an average of 3 to 7 points per game. This is the OA's opponent's average. So now we're looking at them playing against an opponent whose average scoring margin is somewhere between -3 and +3 points per game. So put that all together, and you've got regular season going back to 2020. We're looking at home favorites whose last 2 games went under the total. These home favorites have an average scoring margin of +3 to +7 points per game, and they're facing an opponent whose average scoring margin is somewhere between -3 and +3 points per game. We're going to hit that SDQL button, and you can see these teams, and this is what we're looking at. They are 55 and 22, 71.4% against the spread, winning by over 11 points per game, covering the spread by about 5 points per game. And you can see that this is active on 2 games tonight. It's active on the Cavaliers hosting the Kings. It is also active on the Pelicans hosting the Raptors. So let's move into situational angle number 2. And guys, if you want me to look up any trends or angles for tonight's NBA games, or you are a trend angle enthusiast and you have some that are active for today's games, drop those in the comments. If you have any for me to look up, I will get to them when I can. For this next angle, we are going to look at, I'm not really sure what happened there, guys. Guess I got carried away with the cut and paste. We are going to go back to the 2019 season. We're going to look at away or road teams. And what this all means right here is this is team sum. And in parentheses, it's opponent's points greater than or equal to 115. N equals 5. So that means we're looking at their last 5 games. And what we're looking for is how many of those last 5 games did their opponents score more than 115 points. And we're looking here, it says equals 5. So that means that we're looking at these teams who allowed 115 or more points in each of their last 5 games. And this is their opponent's previous opponent's points. So this is the number of points that their opponent allowed in their last game. And we're looking for that to be greater than or equal to 125. So again, going back to 2019, we're looking at road teams who allowed 115 or more points in each of their last 5 games, and they're facing an opponent that allowed at least 125 points in their last game. We'll hit the SDQL button, and you can see these teams are 32 and 10, 76.2% against the spread. And you can see that this is active tonight with the Mavericks visiting the 76ers. And with that, we are down to our last NBA-wide situational angle for this video. Before I get to that, though, guys, I got to tell you, we had a great weekend in college basketball. Hit 8 out of 9 plays on Saturday and Sunday in college basketball. The only one that lost was 4 seconds away from being a win. We were looking at a 9-0 weekend. I'm number 1 in profit in college basketball at WagerTalk this season. And what I've got going on right now on my page at wt.buzz/db is I've got 2 special deals going on. First of all, I do have a college basketball play going tonight. You can see it right there on the right-hand side. I'm up almost 53 units in college basketball this season. Number 1 at WagerTalk right now. Tonight's play is backed by 2 team-specific situational angles that are combined 20 and 3 for 87% winners. I list those trends inside the write-up for that play. So check that out. We also have a special deal going on for the rest of February for as little as $9 a day. You can check that out as well. What I really want to get to, though, is two special deals that I have going personally. The first one is you can use coupon code DB7, and that will give you $30 off a 7-day all access pass, which means you'll get 7 days of all the plays I release. It's only $69. And that is the same price as a 3-day all access pass. So you'd be getting 7 days of service for the price of 3. Also, coupon code 50 off 30. So that's 50 OFF30. Use that code at checkout on any of my 30-day all access or 30-day packages, either sports specific or a 30-day all access pack. And you can take $50 off. If you can choose individual sports, which right now I've got NBA and college basketball going on, or you can choose a 30-day all access pass, which would give you both NBA and college basketball. And we're up units in the NBA as well. So check out those two coupon codes at DBBets or dbbets.com or wt.buzz/db. They all take you to the same place, and that's the page you are looking at on your screen right now. And take advantage of those special deals while you can. So now we're going to wrap this video up with the final league-wide situational angle of the day. And what we're doing here, we're going back to March 18th of 2023. We're looking at favorites line greater than -7. So they could be an underdog. It could be a pick'em as long as they are not laying 7 or more points. This team's previous points and previous points. So each of their last 2 games, they scored at least 115 points. And then this is previous opponents' points and then previous opponents' points. So not only did they score at least 115 points in each of their last 2 games, but they also allowed 115 points or more in each of their last 2 games. And the final piece to this puzzle is opponents' previous points greater than or equal to 120. So they're facing an opponent that scored 120 or more points in their last game. So you put that all together, you hit the SDQL button, and you can see these teams are just 6-23 against the spread, 20.7%. So fading those teams, you're going to go 23-6, and you're going to cash 79.3% winners. And you can see that this is active tonight when the Nets host the Golden State Warriors. And that, my friends, is going to wrap up this Monday NBA Trends and Angles report. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget, if you have any trends or angles you want me to look up, drop them in the comments. Don't forget to head over to my page at wt.buzz/db. Get tonight's play or take advantage of these 2 coupon codes that are on your screen right now. Take advantage of those great deals. And until next time, best of luck on all of your wagers.